Hello, Yugioh tubers. This is J Buzzsaw 79. It's nice and warm here in Wisconsin, so I was removed from my house essentially, and well, I'm bringing you a deck profile from out my garage. So you hear cars, birds, etc. Well, that's what's going on. The next deck I'm going to do for you guys is one I've had for a while. I kind of really started playing it hard again last format here, and it's April 1st format. I was able to add a new card to it, for sure, and we'll get to that when I do the profile here. But well, here we go. First card should kind of be a tip-off for everybody. Womp 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 womp. Nurse Reficule, the Fallen One. This is, of course, a Simochi deck base. If you don't know her effect, she's a level 4 fairy, dark. Anytime my opponent would gain life, they instead take that much damage. I've played this so far only once at locals. I had an argument with somebody there, not really too heavy, but a little bit of one. He tried to tell me I was playing Chain Burn. I said, no, indeed not. I'm playing Chain Life Gain. If I do not have Simochi or Nurse out, I am boned. But beyond that, actually, there's not really not much to really say about it. I do run the three of Nurse. So there you go on that one. Next, I got 3 Marshmallow. Marshmallow is a great card for this deck. I think in any kind of a stall burn base deck, or a deck that revolves around a similar concept of you need time. Marshmallow, when set face down, my opponent runs into it, they take 1,000 damage, and it cannot be destroyed by battle. Even when I've played this deck outside of my locals, by the way, I went 5-0 with this and took first. Yeah, so outside of locals though, even what usually happens with Marshmallow in here is people usually go ahead and they say, oh well, gosh, I'll attack your face down. They run into it, they take the 1,000, he doesn't die, and they look at their other monsters and go, well, crap. Then they go to main phase 2, and then usually try to destroy him in the second main phase, but essentially he has dealt them 1,000 and bought me another turn. At the very least, that's what he's good for. I don't run Reaper, because I think Reaper's effect is good in more of an aggro-based deck, and Marshmallow, you know, he's just meant to kind of stand there and wave his arms, I guess, is one way of saying it. Next card up, I do run 2 Lava Golem. Lava Golem's awesome because people are pushed to get Xyz and such out, and once I see 2 monsters come out, what's really fun is with Lava Golem and having a combination with Marshmallow out. You know, they'll sit there, they'll push, they run into Marshmallow, and they take 1,000. My turn, tribute. Here's a Lava Golem, and I take another 1,000 on your turn. So, you know, people will push real hard against me, try to get field presence right away and run me over, and I have enough that I can stall out, and then tribute. There's a Lava Golem. Well, now all those pushing to get, you know, Xyz and Synchros and such on the field, well, that is kind of crappy. Next card up, which I might put back to 3. I got 2 Battle Faders in here. Obvious reasons, I think. I might bump it back up to 3. I'm really not sure right now. I'm kind of just putting some feelers out, and I'm trying it again to see what I like. But this is a new card I did add. Silent Wombi? This came out from the gold as a reprint here. That's why these look so pretty. During main phase, you special summon it to your opponent's side of the field. When it's summoned, I draw a card, and my opponent gains 2,000 life. I can only do it once per turn. And their hand size now becomes 3. So as they're piling up some cards against me, they're trying to pile up for a strategy perhaps, or what have you. Special summon it to them. Simochi and Nurse out, they take 2,000 damage. They discard down to 3, and I draw a card off of it. The best part is the 2,000 damage and the draw. It is essentially, at that point, an extra goblin. Because I don't really care if they get monsters, so it doesn't hurt me at all. And they take the 3,000 damage. So extra upstart is all great with me. Moving on to spells. Right there we got a 1 Day of Peace. 1 Day of Peace, awesome again in this deck. Take no damage on a draw. The biggest part of Simochi is basically, to me, outdrawing your opponent and setting the board. They only have 3 MSTs, and generally if you can put enough other stuff out, I can chain to them throwing an MST against me. That's fine. I'm okay with that. So, I mean, this is, again, yeah, you do damage, but you have to know and understand when to chain things and when it's okay to play things. So, 1 Day of Peace is awesome. I also main deck 2 Wave Motions because, again, with some of the other cards I play, I want to give them as many targets to shoot at with MST as possible. Eventually they will run out of MST, and then it becomes, well, do I want to MST as back row, hoping it's Simochi, or do I fire at the Wave Motion? Well, that's a choice they're going to have to make, and sometimes already that's in my favor. So yeah, I do run 2 Soul Takers, destroy a monster, deal them 1,000. Again, great card. Specifically, field control. Take 1,000. I know a lot of cards that can do that potentially. 3 Upstart Goblin. No, this is not Hoban. This is a straightforward concept. I've had Upstart in here since I don't know when, and I've played Upstarts before. Who is Hoban is my answer. So, yeah, I mean, same with Reckless. I ran Reckless on this particular deck, but I've also run Reckless and Upstart together well before Hoban did it. My problem was, apparently, I didn't win enough to make it popular, so there you go. 3 Messengers of Peace. I don't run Gravity Bind or Level Limit because, well, frankly, there's no reason. I mean, Simochi goes by attack points. So once again, they suddenly push to get that Ixie out, and they MST, they hit Wave Motion, or even if they hit Simochi, I drop Messenger of Peace. Well, gosh, there's not a lot of Ixies and Synchros that are 1,400 or less, so then they pushed and they can stand there and look at me because there's, again, I don't run enough monsters in here. So there's not a lot they can do. So, yeah. Last one, 3 Power Duality. Consistency. Lots of consistency is needed for this deck. You have to draw what you need when you need it, and you have to play it in such a manner that you don't overextend. You want to take it nice and easy. You don't want to take it too slow. This is really kind of a techie deck. Through Duality, they'll allow you to kind of go through and grab what you need, again, when you need it. Traps. We got the 1 Ceasefire. Some people don't play Ceasefire. I think for me, I've noticed that people quit playing Ceasefire because people quit using flip effects. Many years ago, gosh, for me, it'll be probably back on, excuse me, it'll probably be back when Perfect Circle was running years ago. Perfect Dark Circle, even, if we wanted to. I mean, gosh, that was what? God, almost 10 years ago, probably now. Again, I played for a while, so. But yeah, excuse me, geez, I got a tickle. The Ceasefire hasn't really been played since then. People usually throw it in as, like, to me, like an afterthought, like, gosh, I got a spot, and they're like, oh, I'll just throw this in, I suppose. But really, if you think about it, yeah, people ain't playing flip effects, but people are playing effect monsters everywhere. I mean, even still, if I can get a lock out there and toss this down with a Messenger of Peace, and they got 3-4 monsters, that's again 1,500 to 2,000 damage. You can't go wrong. The fact that it knows the flip effects is to me like a perk about it. So, bribes, again, do I really care if you're drawing a card as long as I stop an MST? No. So, things like that. Perhaps a dark hole, depending on its time, when it's played, if I was setting up for something else. people are going to put dust tornadoes against me and who knows what else. So 2 bribes is good. Next, magic cylinder. Magic cylinder not being used by more people astounds me. Yeah, I know there's, royal decrees. Yeah, I know there's, trap stuns and Jinzo and everything else, but people don't play those really. And the fact that you can negate an attack and reflect it back at somebody, that's huge to me. Most people that I've noticed, when you're dropping Ixies and Synchros, their plan is to destroy monsters. And they prepare and waste MSTs on other things, and suddenly they attack and they detached and everything else, and they push hard and they run into a cylinder. Gosh, suddenly they weren't expecting to take their own attacks back. I mean, some people extend to the point that their own attack fired back at them kills them half the time. So got 2 cylinders on that. Next up, move that up a little bit. 3 paths of destiny. I might cut one, perhaps to add back in the what we were talking about earlier. Can't remember. Oh well, perhaps another wave motion or something in, I guess. I might cut it for the battle fader, I guess. Yeah, might do that. But again, 3 paths of destiny, 50% chance I take damage, and if it switches out 100%, they take 2,000 damage. So I feel great about that. The last 3 here, well, I should say the last 3, but close anyway. The 3 Simochi. Again, the only point it's in there for, obviously, is again reverse the life gains and cause my opponent damage. This and Nurse, that's kind of the main cards. The last one up for me, 3 gift card, because 3,000 damage is awesome. So there you have Simochi. Yeah, one of the most, I guess to me, and this is just randomly how fun it is. Again, I don't just try blindly to play stuff like Nurse. People throw Nurse out and kind of shrug and say, well, best of luck on that. I only play Nurse on my turn if in fact I plan to play things with it. And what happened at one point, I had, when I was playing recently, I summoned Nurse, somebody played Solemn Warning against it, they paid to 2,000 negate Nurse. That's fine, it's 2,000 damage. Still my turn. I played the Wobie, the Silent Wobie. This new guy here I like. So I said, okay, special summon to him. Chain, Simochi, you take 2,000, draw a card. There, okay. Upstart. Take another 1,000, I draw another card. And last card I drew was the Soul Taker. Played Soul Taker for Gam. That was turn 1. Well, my turn 2, I suppose. Turn 3, whatever. But my turn, my second turn, killed them. The fact that, yeah, people say, well, it's inconsistent because you got only 6 things that reverse the life gain and the damage. Yeah, but the level of consistency that the deck has. Turn 1, you can set 4 back row and LMST. Even if they hit Simochi, you chain, you could potentially kill them. Turn 2, you set 2 gift cards, something else. Past Destinies, for example. The MST Simochi, you chain everything else off. The last card you activate is Simochi in that chain link. So then, Simochi activates. They take 8,000. They're dead, and then I suppose their MST goes off to resolve the chain, but it doesn't matter. So, thumbs up if you like the Simochi deck. Thumbs down if you don't. You can tell me why if you want. Really not caring. If you want to subscribe, that's fine too. I'm not really going to beg for anything. Got more decks coming. I'm going to post another one up also Thanks for having me, and talk to you later.